Morning, everybody. Jordan Burke, your friendly neighborhood club fitter. So, snuck out here onto the Marsh Golf Course actually the day after we just held the South Florida Open. Golf course was in beautiful shape, but you guys already know that because Marsh has been in amazing condition these last few years. So, I want to talk a little bit about some things that I experienced when I was playing the event. Now, I usually pride myself on short game chipping and putting, but unfortunately, it's just one of those things where, just didn't have it those couple days. So struggled out here and at Miramar Lakes where the main part of the event was hosted. But I want to talk a little bit about wedge decisions and chipping and pitching around the greens, because I ran into something that I've always tried to recreate when I go out and practice in the short game area. I always try to make the lies very, very difficult. If you think of any team sports that you might have played growing up, the big thing that all the great coaches want you to have is they want to make practice as hard as it can possibly be, so that when you actually get into the game and get into the competition, everything is a lot easier. So I always try to find some difficult lies when I'm on the short game area or that small little chipping and bunker area that we have over by the first tee of Marsh Golf Course. So I always mess around with trying to hit different shots and see how well I can hit those shots when I'm playing on these bare, grainy, and tight lies. And I found one here, unfortunately, on Marsh number 13, just short of the green, the par 5. I don't know if you can make it out, but I've got a flag stick with my driver head cover on it over in the distance here, just to show you where the pin is. So it's not cut over the bunker. It was cut, kind of at the base of the slope where this green kind of runs away from you. So I'm probably 40 yards away, and I had this very, very grainy and not really into the grain. It was more like a sideways grain pitch shot, and I completely just laid the sod over it. So, not something that, I want to be doing in a competition, but I thought it'd be a great idea to showcase. One of the cool things about summertime and club fitting is, we can actually go out onto the golf course and entertain a few things and try a few things out just to see what would work best for your bag. So that's what I'm doing. I've grabbed a few wedges just to see if anything different is going to happen. And I've gone all the way from the 14 bounce K grind, and I've got all the way down to the 8-degree bounce M grind. And the wedges I use had a little bit less bounce than the M, so I just want to see what happens if I actually give myself a little bit more bounce. Is this shot become easier to hit? So I'm actually going to start with the 10S grind, which is kind of a mid-bounce wedge. You can see if I hit these shots, you can see all this grass start to kind of kick up. That's because it's a bit into the grain. So if the contact's not there, if I'm not hitting it clean enough, I think this is even worse. Oh yeah, perfect. I think this is right where I was in the event. So I'm gonna try to hit a shot to the head cover of the flag stick, and we're just gonna see which one of these tends to produce the best shot. And that came out way too hot and low. Okay, but that was clean. I'm gonna give that one more. Where I got sand, I'm gonna fill in my divots. Same thing. That one I chunked, but hey, I'm still putting. The beauty of bounce, it's forgiveness factor. So now I want to go up and see what this K grind does. This is the 14-degree bounce K grind. We always talk about a lot of bounce helps out, or if you have a lot of bounce, you can't get it airborne. So let's just see what happens with the K grind. That dug the most. That is what I would not want to happen, because that's basically what I did in the golf tournament. So let's try that one more time. Knowing what we know now, that was way better, but I think I just, like anything, you adjust after the first shot. So now let's try this 8-degree M grind. It's a little bit more than what I've got in the bag. Ball forward, face is open, just brushing the grass, trying to keep that leading edge out. And that I ran into too. So you know what? Here's the great thing about all this. The beautiful part about what we're figuring out here. I'll hit the flag stick. Ooh, that would have been good. Not the club, me. I'm kind of the problem here with the golf club. So take that into consideration. Sometimes, not always the arrows. It can also be the Indian. That came out really good. Ooh, I want to remember that one for this shot. So I got this tight into the grain, funky sideways grainy lie. Right now, the leading candidate hit the spin and hit it. Oh. I'm actually going with the 12 bounce D grind. Surprising that worked the best. Now, you know, this is high bounce wedge, fairly tight, grainy lie. I hit two pretty solid shots there. So a little bit of me. I know it was a little bit of me in terms of like what happened during the tournament. But, you know, I definitely could have made things maybe a little bit easier if I had a little bit of a higher bounce or picked a different wedge. Like I'm big on having a low bounce 60 and a higher bounce sand wedge, or whatever your lob wedge, or whatever the highest lofted wedge you have. I like that having the least amount of bounce. And then that middle wedge, 54, 56, I like it having a little bit more. So I probably could have just kind of taken my medicine, played my 56, which is actually the same grind as what this lob wedge is, and just kind of flipped it on the green to make sure that my next one was putting instead of leaving it in the bunker like I did and lead to a pretty rough score in that hole. So if you have any questions about club fitting, or if you definitely want to figure out, is it the clubs, is it you, which part is making life harder for you on the golf course, definitely come on out and help you out, help you figure out which one would benefit you. Do you need a little help swing-wise? Do you need a little bit help technique-wise? Or are we just making things a little bit more difficult with the equipment that we're using? So feel free to reach out. Jordan B, BeautyBayClub.net. Thank you all. Have a great day.